that shit in style. Joint sound hitting now. Freestyle or written down. Flow is played out, money. You need to get that shit in style. Joint sound hitting now. Freestyle or written down. Flow is played out, money. You need to get that shit in style.
Alright, stream, hello. I am Chris, Worst Mechanics Canic, and I will be your caster, or at least one of them today. We're currently getting into pick ban phase. Looks like Azir and Lee Sin going to be the first two bans out of Arlington. Hold on, let me mute myself on stream so I don't hear echo. That is highly distracting. There we go. Rex had the first ban out of UT Burnt. I guess that's the name we're going with. Today I learned Aurelia second ban. I know Aurelia was highly effective in at least one of the games we played against this exact same team on Saturday. I'm actually going to take this moment to do a quick aside while we watch pick ban phase here. UT Austin has played UT Arlington already in the CSL playoffs on Saturday, 2 days ago. We did not have a very strong showing there. We won't go any further into that, but we are also playing UT Arlington in the last week of the regular season in IvyLol right now, which is what y'all are currently having the pleasure of watching. And yeah, so, you know, weird coincidence there. Gonna have to deal with playing the same team twice in a row, 2 days separated, but it is what it is. Last bans are Cassidy against Austin and Lysandra against Arlington. Lysandra also having a strong showing, if I remember correctly, on behalf of Arlington. So a couple of respect bans from previous games being taken away from Arlington, and a couple of bans just, you know, strong champions and high priority picks in our champion pools against Austin. And there's the first pick Insolent Morgana coming in from Arlington there. That is an interesting choice. We'll see how it works out for them. Usually shows a lot about a champ comp or a team comp when you see that early in the pick ban phase they're going to be looking for picks and obviously abusing that black shield, giving somebody complete immunity to crowd control effects. UT Austin taking a little bit more time on their first two picks there, maybe taken slightly aback by that Morgana first pick. If I'm going to offer a few spoilers, I think that was actually a pick we were considering taking for ourselves there, maybe. But you do see Jarvan and Gnar locked in. Actually, yeah, with Gnar being left up there, can't believe I missed that one. So those are two very strong picks, high priorities in the current meta, going over to Austin here. So we will certainly appreciate those, or I'm sorry, impartial casting. UT Austin will certainly appreciate those picks. And very quick lock-in of Caitlyn and Pantheon for Arlington immediately after those two. Possibly anticipating those picks or possibly just knowing exactly what they want to go for. Pantheon causing a lot of problems on Saturday's games. Once again, just to go back to those. There's the troll Teemo hover from Austin. I'm going to go ahead and express doubt that that's going to be locked in, but you never know. Maybe we're going to go with some unique strategies after losing 2-0 on Saturday to this exact same team. Let me make sure that all the same players are here. Looking at a very low resolution Skype screen share. So, yeah, it does appear to be the same 5 players on both sides. Oh, actually, take that back. UT Austin has their starting mid laner instead of their substitute mid laner today. On Saturday, we had one member who is unable to join us, so now we are back to our full starting roster. Hopefully that will be a positive change for us. But there's the Sivir Janna lock-in for UT Austin. Sivir, not the best choice on Saturday, didn't have the greatest showing, but Janna definitely pers support of choice these days, so he's going to be happy with that choice. Seeing Xerath Thresh hovered from Arlington here, if those two do get locked in, that is a lot of long-range damage. Caitlyn and Xerath, obviously lots of long-range. Morgana and Xerath, lots of long-range CC. And that Nidalee would just complete the coup de grace of AD carry, mid, and top long range. But there's the Riven instead, maybe? Oh, and Malphite. Alright, yeah, so there's the Malphite. Long distance engage. That's a very scary team coming out from Arlington. Lots of long distance ways, max range ways to get into a team fight, pick somebody off, or more than one somebody in the case of Malphite or Pantheon. Yeah, that's gonna be really scary. UT Austin is going to have to be very cognizant of their spacing and the amount of respect they give to Arlington's team's ability to engage from pretty much almost off-screen, or actually off-screen in the case of Pantheon. We'll see what their last pick's going to be to help deal with this. It will be almost certainly the mid laner onto Lolzers picking into a Xerath. It's gonna be... I can't immediately think of anything that would be an obvious choice into that team comp. Maybe just something he can hope to abuse the immobile Xerath lane with, like a Fizz. And it will indeed be the Fizz. So hopefully he will certainly be looking for maybe a lane kill here. It's gonna be hard. Xerath can clear waves like no other and just keep Fizz under his turret if he so pleases, but Fizz, kind of a weird assassin in the case that he actually has a lot of wave clear if he uses his troll pull onto the wave. Once he gets an item or two under his belt, he can actually just completely clear the wave with that ability, which is, in my opinion, a little bit dumb, but we'll see. Picking that into the Xerath, it's going to be hopefully a high trade volume mid lane. Maybe we'll see some interesting things coming out of that. But all right, there are the team comps in front of us. We will see how they work out. Gnar against Malphite, that's going to be an interesting lane. Gnar obviously going to be flipping between melee and ranged form. Going to be harassing Malphite a lot as ranged, but once he goes into melee, he's just going to outduel Malphite, probably. So may actually be a somewhat difficult matchup for Ice Princess Seo there. Hopefully it's, if I'm going to allow my bias through, I hope it's going to be a hard lane for the Malphite, but it is a Malphite after all. Will be completely shrugging off Gnar's auto attacks, except for the third auto proc once he levels up that ability. But alright, while we're going into the stream delay, or the spectator delay I should say, we're going to just flop through these profiles here, and I will be right back to cast the game for y'all. Just kidding. I will talk about these team profiles instead. So here we see in front of us the UT Austin starting roster. We see in the top lane, Etch2. Etchy, yeah, not Etch2, or Echo, or any of the other things you hear. It's actually Etchy. I've heard an explanation from Josh, his name, that 2 is in some non-English language, an E sound. So Etchy is his name. Cessna, not to be confused with Sesuna, in the jungle. No, it is not Scar's Smurf. Mid lane is Lolzers. AD carry, Master Zef as always, and as always support. Per, not peer or anything else, per. This has been our roster for a few weeks now. They're starting to get their synergy down, and hopefully they will continue it into this game. But here is UT Arlington's roster. Top lane, Ice Princess SEO, or SEO, or Search Engine Optimization, or whatever the hell that is. Jungle is huge, certainly a strong player in his own regard. Mid, Kakarot. There may be a reference to a Dragon Ball Z video there. AD carry, Hao Chao, not Hao Cow. I've heard it said Hao Chao, so that's apparently correct. And support Arenzi. No surprises there. They did recently undergo a swap between mid lane and AD carry, I think a couple of weeks ago, and obviously that's had some success against us 2 days ago. We'll see if they can continue that success. UT Austin, I forgot to mention, also undergoing a recent roster swap. Our top lane and our jungle have recently traded, so Cessna instead of top lane, now jungle, Etchy the reverse. I believe we are getting close to the end of the spectator delay. Not positive on that. 30 seconds indeed before we get into that, so I'll kill a little bit of time for y'all Doa style. Let's just try to mentally go back over these team compositions a little bit. I think UT Austin is going to be made or broken by how well they manage the Gnar teleports and his rage meter. Once Gnar gets into his ult form, or Mega Gnar as I believe it's referred to, he is quite a scary engage tool. There is obviously very easy engage by pressing R on Pantheon or Malphite, but Gnars can be much more impactful if used correctly. Hopefully it will be used correctly. That remains to be seen, obviously. And Jarvan, you know, possibly the king of jungle engages. He can EQ onto your face and then hold you into a very small space with his Cataclysm, and would leave the rest of his team free to just unload damage on anyone held into that small space. But we'll see if that's managed correctly. We're on to the load screen. Hopefully that won't take too long. I know we have at least one player with a toaster, so we may be waiting a small amount of time on that load screen. But we do have that up for y'all. Y'all can look at those champions just for a little bit longer. Just appreciate the wonderful borders there that none of y'all will ever possibly hope to accomplish. All those pretty diamonds, a few of those masters, and a couple of challenger icons actually, if I see those correctly. Aren't they pretty? Just look at them. All those colors, all the shininess, looking so much better than everyone else's bronze and silver outlines. Hao not connecting. Maybe seeing a pause at the beginning of the game, if that does indeed cause issues. I see somebody saying in chat that it's Challenger and Diamond. The border on Per there is the Master border, so we see all three of those represented. Do see Challenger on you, Jedi's Princess Seo. Not sure what that's from. Probably ranked 3s. Feel free to kappa that. Alright, we are in game, finally. Hao Chao possibly connected, possibly not. Hopefully our spectator will rearrange those item icons into the right roles. And we get to see the beautiful delayed spawn-in animation here. Spending quite a bit at 0 time there. Okay, yeah, there is the pause, Hao Chao. Indeed not connected, probably gonna have to wait on that. But yeah. Been over the mid lane matchup, been over the top lane matchup a little bit. The bottom lane matchup, however, may be possibly the most interesting one. Caitlyn and Morgana, lots of long range. Caitlyn going to be looking to harass with her autos. Morgana maybe going to be fishing for some early bindings, for some free trades, maybe not, don't know. There's one spell shield apiece in that bottom lane, but Jenna is the only one who cannot receive or give herself a spell shield, so that may be an easy gank target for the Pantheon, or for Yuge rather on Pantheon. Remains to be seen, obviously, but it could be a highly scary lane for Jenna if Pantheon does show up. You can just jump onto her stunner, follow that up with an easy Caitlyn trap and or Morgana binding. She's not going to be moving if that happens. Seeing some all chat here, but it is a little bit too small for me to read, unfortunately. Yeah, can't read that, otherwise I'd be making comments on it. I'll leave that to Twitch chat to freely react to the all chat, which I'm sure y'all can read. But yeah, as I was saying in the bot lane, very scary for Janna. Sivir, not quite as much. With a well-timed spell shield, she will be able to absorb the first CC coming her way. There's Hao Chao connecting, finally. Report that guy for making us wait. Should be getting underway in this game very shortly, assuming that's a legitimate connection. Can't tell. Can't even see items. I don't even get to talk about that yet. It's kind of disappointing. Alright, there we go. Unpause coming in, or the resume command I should say. Just in time for us to see the beautiful spawning animations. There they go, kind of falling from the sky. Quite a strong level 1 invade team comp coming in from Arlington here. Let's see if they try to do anything with that. Looking like no, actually, as they are kind of fanning out throughout the map. Looking like it may be a standard defensive start for them. Same from UT Austin here, all of them spreading out to different areas, and they should be seeing each other in a second or so here. Hopefully we see some emotes spammed out, because that's how you win games. You know, you spam some emotes, you send a message, or throwing an auto and a boomerang at Malphite, barely breaking the shield. Actually, going to clear out that ward somehow. How did that happen? Okay, interesting. Yeah, he actually cleared that ward. So good shit there. Not entirely sure how that happened. I didn't know you could do that on Gnar. I guess, did he? I don't know how Gnar works. I really should. That's embarrassing. But yeah, CS advantage. That lane's already won. Gnar can go back, buy something nice with the 10 gold or 15 or whatever he gets from that ward clear. But yeah, alright, standard starts coming out. Both junglers starting on the bottom side. Pantheon looking like he may actually start on the red buff instead of on the double golems, as is usually seen. So that'll be a little bit interesting. Maybe he'll be looking to do something with that red buff, or maybe just wants the burn damage from it. One of the two. It is a Pantheon, so you should expect early ganks from him, level 2, level 3, possibly when he is most potent. And Jarvan starting up on that Grunk with the assistance of bot lane. Surprising there. Fizz going in level 1 onto the Xerath, getting a little bit of damage. Xerath does have biscuits and natural regen, so he should be okay. Also going to throw some poke back at Fizz, so you know, pretty even trade. Malphite and Gnar, same situation up there, going to just be throwing a couple of things at each other, but it's going to be a wet noodle fight probably. Both of them should be building tanky, even though Gnar does start with the Doran's Blade. Level 1 trading going down in bottom lane as well. The Ricochet helping out a little bit to help Sivir win those trades. Fizz taking quite a bit of damage in the mid lane, actually. There's the Pantheon flash done in, actually. Forcing Fizz a reactive flash there. Will get away. Gonna chug down a couple of his potions and be able to stay in lane, but jungler flash or mid lane flash, that means Pantheon can freely come back into this lane, put the fear of a gank into Fizz. Mission accomplished there by Pantheon. Kinda knew that was gonna come, but yeah. Sivir already onto that bottom lane turret there. Oscar, please. I need to see this Skype. Thank you. Getting a little bit of damage onto the turret, shoving Caitlyn into it. Possibly the only champion capable of doing that. Caitlyn usually the one sending people into their own turret, but Sivir, being her at her own job, not already popping his rage bar there. Not going to be able to do too much with it though, because it is a Malphite. There is still a minion wave there, frozen right in the middle. Pantheon looking to take that scuttle, I think. Yeah, just judging by the mini-map positioning there. Yeah, so that should be scuttle picked up for them. A little bit of a vision advantage. We will see Jarvan if he tries to do anything in that river. He may or may not, but Pantheon actually coming in behind the red buff of Jarvan. Looks to see... Nope, he's not looking for Jarvan. He's looking for a Tribush lane gank. Instead, Gnar not aware of this at all. Actually, you need to get yourself out of there. I know you have your hop, but if Pantheon gets the stun down onto you, you may still be in trouble. There it is, the stun down onto Gnar, but Malphite getting minion blocked a little bit there. There's the Q slow. Turret forces Pantheon away. No kill onto Gnar. Saves his flash as well, so well done to escape there. That hop is quite a strong disengage tool. Fizz looking for a trade on it. Oh, he misses the splash on the Xerath there, so forced to walk away. Can't continue that trade any longer if he misses that skill. But yeah, as I was saying, good escape there by Gnar. Keeping himself safe, is extremely low health. Kind of interesting that he's choosing to stay there, actually. Malphite doesn't really have a way to get onto him, but okay, yeah, there is the recall coming in. The only interesting choice is whether or not he will choose to use his teleport back to lane. It's a scary concept. It's a scary thing if he does, because that leaves him with no pressure at dragons or bot lane. And yep, there he is, just walking in. Jarvan making an appearance in the mid lane, but looks like he does miss the EQ. No worries there by Xerath. He's just going to continue farming, being Xerath, doing what Xerath does. And now they know where Jarvan is as well. He's near the mid lane, so fail gank there by him. We'll certainly be looking to make a few more things happen. Maybe even coming down to this bottom lane after he picks up that scuttle that he's stalling on in the middle of the river there. Good to pick up the scuttle crab there, actually, if that is indeed what he's doing. Looks like Arlington knows he's there. Can't tell if they have a ward in that river or something. Pantheon, oh yeah, okay, so they do see he's taking the scuttle crab with Pantheon there. As he uses the Wraith Smite bonus to clear out a ward in the Death Bush as well. Good awareness by Arlington there to know that that's happening. And yeah, all of the early jungle pressure that we thought was happening is already beginning to taper off. Pantheon has already made his token appearance in mid lane to burn Fizz's flash. Already came up to the top lane to put a little bit of fear into Nara as well. But no successful kills yet, which is probably in favor of UT Austin there. Kind of negating the early pressure of Pantheon. Janna eating a dart binding to the face, but Caitlyn not in position to follow up and punish for it. Going to have to dodge those bindings later in the game when they're scarier, but for now can afford to eat one to the face if necessary. Let's see what these players are picking up with their first round of backs. Bot lane obviously not getting there quite yet. Gnar, after being forced back, picks up a double longsword, almost certainly going towards a brutalizer for himself. Interesting choice. Janna eating another binding in bottom lane. That's not good. You're gonna have to do better at dodging those, Per. Can't afford to eat those. Double Doran's ring start for Fizz after beginning with the flask. So he's looking for just a couple of raw combat stats. Maybe do something at level 6. Per eating another binding in the bottom lane. Come on, man. That's 3 in a row. Like, you can't give him that kind of success rate. It's just a mental game at that point. Xerath picking up a second Doran's ring and a Fiendish Codex. So it looks like he backed a little bit after Fizz there had a little bit more gold in his pocket. Pantheon finishing the... I should really know what item that is. The purple jungle upgrade. Also going for the double longsword, which will go into a brutalizer into that respective upgrade onto the jungle item. I should also know what that one's called, but I don't. Malphite not having an opportunity back yet. Okay, there we go. Sivir absorbing the Dark Binding for Janna, using her spell shield to get some free mana back for it as well. Second round of buffs starting up here for the junglers. Jarvan onto his blue, Pantheon onto his respective red. And you can start to see the vision game being contested a little bit there around the dragon. UT Austin did have a nice pink ward into the bush behind red buff there, just got cleared out by Xerath. They still do have a nice pink ward into the dragon side death bush though, which does not seem to have been detected by UT Arlington yet, so that's a little bit of a vision advantage in the area for Austin right now. Not currently in position to make a play around it, but look for that in the near future, because early dragons are certainly a possibility with these compositions. But yeah, altogether kind of a boring game. Nothing too exciting happening. Very standard things, no kills, all of the summoners are up as well. Fizz already getting his flash back up after that early gank. Alright, but here is a little bit of action happening. Janna starting the roaming vision squad with Jarvan there, getting the ward back into the bush behind red buff there on UT Arlington's side. Fizz looking for a trade onto Xerath. Wins that one a little bit, gets a little bit of free damage down onto him. Sivir sidestepping the Dark Binding and also spell shielding herself, so you know, if you're gonna spell shield, you almost want to walk into it. But either way, still juking out of that, practicing for later when she needs to physically dodge those. Jarvan near bot side, probably realizes he was seen by that ward in the dry bush, backs off. Pantheon sitting halfway up the bottom lane. Oh, there's the teleport in from Malphite and the ultimate in from Pantheon, but there's the Sivir, no, not even the Sivir ultimate, just the flash out of Janna. Sivir used nothing, so, and looks like, yeah, teleport cancelled from Malphite as well. Nothing doing there, just burning Janna's flash. So, good escape by UT Austin there. Not burning any more than they absolutely had to. Fizz actually going in on the Jarvan here as he comes in for a gank. Where's the EQ from Jarvan? No, he gets stunned by Xerath. Not going to be able to come in. So ultimate burned from Fizz, actually. That is not good for UT Austin. Janet flash down, Fizz ultimate, and Fizz flash down, actually. Missed that happening. Now Silver actually trying to make something happen here into the bottom lane onto Morgana. Caitlyn will flash away after the Silver ultimate, but will Morgana get killed? Yes, she will. First blood onto Jarvan, but here's a counter engage from UT Arlington. Not ultimate in, only onto one person, but he will pick up the kill onto Xerath as well. So 2 kills for UT Austin, and they're going to turn tail and go straight onto this dragon. Sivir absorbing the ultimate from Caitlyn that would have gone on the Gnar. That's a scary choice. She's going down very low from that. But UT Arlington not in position to contest this dragon at all. That's going to go over to UT Austin for free. But that being said, the 2 kills actually only made up the CS deficit they were in earlier, so even gold actually, for now, Malphite actually may do a little bit of work on that top turret while they're all gone after he canceled his teleport earlier. But yeah, gold advantage, or no gold advantage for either team, I should say, even across the board, even though UT Austin has those 2 kills, so CS deficit's already beginning to take their toll onto UT Austin here. Can't actually see, can't make out the numbers on the CS there, but oh man, that is 100 CS on Caitlyn. I thought I was reading that wrong. Yeah, that is 104 CS on the Caitlyn at 11.5 minutes. That is scary. To Sivir's, is that 68? I really hope it's not, but I think it is. I'm reading a very pixelated screen here. But yeah, that CS deficit is going to be massive later. Sivir, probably even with the 2 assists behind Caitlyn in items, she is indeed behind boots and a potion there, or not a potion, a ward there. So UT Austin needs to work on that CSing ability there. They're in lanes that, obviously Fizz is going to be a little bit behind Xerath, but Gnar should be doing better in CS against Malphite. Sivir could be doing better. Obviously you're going to be a little bit of a CS deficit against Caitlyn, because she is Caitlyn, but yeah, that's almost inexcusable. That needs to not happen. Alright, Xerath, after picking up a Forbidden Idol and boots, going to go back, probably be finishing off his Necronomicon here. Fizz did get his Sheen after that dragon fight, it looks like. Oh, never mind, Xerath cancels his back. Won't see that Necronomicon coming out quite yet. Sunfire finished on Malphite though. That's going to be quite scary for Gnar if he ever tries to go in for some trades on him. Fizz finding Xerath here in the mid lane though. Is Jarvan here for the engage? Ultimate down on Xerath. There's the kill for Fizz. No ultimate from Jarvan was a little bit unnecessary there. Does pick up the kill with it, so you know, Dunk secures the kill. That's obviously worth. Not sure. Oh, Caitlyn walked up to mid lane to try to help with that fight, so that enables UT Austin to get some nice damage onto that bot turret with Sivir shoving the wave very quickly, punishing Caitlyn for trying to come directly back in with a what is that? Meringue? I forget what that ability is called for Sivir, but a little bit of a wet noodle fight coming in here from Mega Gnar and Malphite. Sunfire Malphite really doesn't care about Gnar's damage, and Gnar with only a Brutalizer and Giant's Belt under his belt. See what I did there? Not going to be doing a lot of damage to Malphite either. Nothing doing up there, just Gnar losing his rage meter in a little bit, but won't be needing that anytime soon. No dragon in the near future means that he will be free to use that at will. Let's go over a couple more of the items there. Mobility boots finish for both junglers. That will mean their pressure will increase quite significantly. Jarvan finishing off the jungle upgrade as well. So junglers are at essentially even items there. Lots of wards coming in from Jarvan, which I like to see. Going to be looking to try to get some vision dominance on the map, try to make some more plays, and more importantly, to try to know if Pantheon is coming into anywhere. BF pickaxe on both AD carries in the bottom lane. Standard IE rush for both of them, almost certainly. No surprises there. Fizz already getting up to the... I should really know what that is. Whatever the combine item with Sheen is to go into, I guess that's going to be a Witchbane rush. Interesting choice there. Witchbane, obviously a core item on Fizz, not always the one you want to rush. Sheen, obviously, very important though. So we will be seeing some first items finished off here from people very shortly. Obviously Malphite already there, but everyone else following up in the near future. Let's see, Pantheon donating, I believe, the second blue buff to Xerath, third blue buff of the game, but second one he's going to get. But yeah, more standard laning phase. Isn't this fun? Gnar actually grabbing himself a null magic mantle, which is interesting. He's got a lot of components there. Probably gonna turn those into mercurial or merc treads. Yeah, probably going into merc treads there. Giant spell would make no sense otherwise. Or giant spell makes no synergy with that item. So that's gotta be for the merc tread rush. Jarvan already clearing out some vision around the next dragon, which will be spawning in just over a minute. That's good to see. They still have that pink ward in the death bush as well. Both teleports up for top laners, so they'll both be ready to join into this fight, which will almost certainly happen on the next dragon spawn. UT Austin, don't forget, got that first one, so if they can get the second one, that's going to be some immediate pressure on the 5 dragon win condition, which seems to be very popular. No turrets going down. 0 turrets going down. That's impressive at 16 minutes on comps that include a Caitlyn and a Sivir. Actually, felt like going in onto Gnar here. Gnar doesn't have the rage meter, forced to flash and jump away, but should go down. There's the flash in from Pantheon with that last crit from his passive. 1 kill there picked up. That will be Gnar down on this dragon spawn, but Jarvan here in the bottom lane. There's the ult in. Morgana cannot flash away, but he might go down to the turret there. Fizz actually cleans up the Caitlyn kill on the back behind the turret. Malphite teleporting in a little bit late, not there to actually do anything. Doesn't have his ultimate either. Not going to be a high impact fight from him. Fizz actually going in, getting a kill onto Morgana as well. There's the Xerath. Oh, does snipe out Jarvan. Kill picked up, or revenge kill picked up there. 2 for 2 across the map so far if you include the Gnar kill. Good spell shield from Sivir there onto the Xerath Q. But that will disable both teams from actually being able to do this dragon immediately. Arlington going to go ahead and get into the area to try to get some vision down. Good awareness by them to realize they have the freedom to do that. Going to... Oh, there's the teleport in actually onto the ward from Gnar to save it. They're looking for the killers to flash tornado in from Janna, but the stun coming in onto Gnar should be the disengage they're looking for. Gnar going in a little bit ahead of his teammates. They're getting slowed by Xerath. Okay, yeah, we'll be able to get away after a little bit of an overchase by him. But he is there for the dragon. Fizz coming up soon. Malphite going to get there a little after Fizz. Neither team with the positioning good enough to do it. Aw. Jarvan almost got the word in the death push, but not quite. Had to EQ away. Scary Morgana coming in onto him. And yeah, ultimate's beginning to come back up after all of those crazy skirmishes. Sivir actually picking up the bottom turret, so Caitlyn punished slightly for leaving that area and going mid. Nice gold into the pockets of UT Austin. And yeah, looks like we're going to see a little bit more of a dragon dance, more vision contestment from both teams. UT Austin was able to get back in there after the initial sweep by Arlington, get the vision control re-secured, got the pink back down into the death bush. Don't have anything behind the red buff there on UT Arlington's side. Okay, and just after I say that, UT Austin all recalls, forfeits all the vision they did initially have, and now vision control is in Arlington's favor. A little bit of a sweeper of a game. Not gonna lie. Well, I guess we can talk about which team is favored more by going to late game. Obviously this game is going to reach the mid game before it's decided, but late game, I don't really see a particular advantage from either side. If Arlington can use the Pantheon and Malphite engages in good synchronization, late game will be the time where they can blow whoever their target is up very quickly. So that's a scary concept, but Sivir late game mobility with her ultimate is also not to be underestimated as well. I don't see either team with a clear advantage in the mid game. Fizz will hopefully not fall off too hard. More dragon vision dancing. Very exciting. There's the Scuttle being picked up. That poor thing. 4v1, and the Scuttle Crab can't even do any damage back to you. Really? That's just mean. I know he's probably tasty because he's a crab, but can you be nice? Poor guy. Alright, UT Austin having some vision. UT Arlington also having a little bit of vision around the dragon. Not clearly in favor of either team. A little bit of a push down on the mid turret there by UT Austin, but it is against the Xerath. Xerath gonna do Xerath things, uses Q, insta clear wave. Caitlyn recalling out of vision cleverly, so UT Austin not aware that this is happening. Caitlyn going to be safe to buy, finish up her Infinity Edge and boots, which Sivir has not yet accomplished, actually grabbing the Zeal before finishing Infinity Edge, which is a strange choice. Sivir really needs to finish an item here. 4 assists, no kill, possibly just missing the recipe combines just because it doesn't have a kill, but not having a finished item is very scary. It really needs the power spike from finishing at least one item. That would be ideal. Yeah, we're really just seeing... This is possibly the longest Dragon Dance I've ever seen. And I've watched a lot of EU games, and those things go on for freaking ever. Lots of wave clear on both sides with the Sivir, Caitlyn, and Xerath. Not going to be too much immediate turret pressure from either team. Arlington actually going to start on this dragon. UT Austin not in great position to contest it, but they need to get in there. They've backed off of it after taking a little bit of aggro. Nar's rage bar is not even close to being filled. He needs to solve that problem, maybe even use that dragon to get some rage built up, or needs to do whatever he has to do. This is a strange fight indeed. Jarvan actually eating a Morgana binding, but there's a Pantheon ultimate onto the back line. Jarvan caught out, not even going to get his ult off. That's not a good thing. Malphite back onto the back line as well. Sivir getting extremely low. It's not a good fight for UT Austin. They're getting shredded down 1v1, or 1x1. Morgana kill actually picked up, but now UT Austin forced to walk away. They do actually get Xerath as well, but everyone now dead except for Janna. Oh my god, she just fail flash. I think she just fail flashed that wall. Either way, ace picked up by Arlington. Great team fight by them, getting the binding down onto Jarvan and slowly bursting him down. Good target focusing by them, actually. And they're going to be rewarded for that fight with a dragon, so... Both teams now picking up that flat damage boost. 6% I believe it is now, not the old 8% after it's been changed. 7 kills for both teams, 1 turret for both teams, but the CS numbers helping Arlington just a little bit. They're at approximately a 1,000 gold lead. Malphite actually going to use his teleport up to that top lane to soak up a nice big wave, so that's going to be good for him. He's already got himself a Frozen Heart as well, or maybe she Ice Princess? You'd think that's a female? I don't actually know. I mean, you know, it's a pretty safe assumption that it's a male because it is League of Legends we're playing here, but... Either way, 2 completed items for Malphite. That's very scary. He's going to be a big problem in the near future. 104 for himself as well. Meanwhile, Gnar has the Sunfire finished, but looking to finish another item. Only has the Moltres and the Brutalizer. Minion Wave about to finish off that top turret. They do indeed get it right before Gnar finishes off the last one. A little bit unfortunate there, but a second turret picked up for Arlington. Gnar going to continue to wail away on the Malphite, but Pantheon's here. He needs to get out of there, even though he is Mega Gnar. Jarvan poking his head into the area as well. UT Arlington will back off. Nothing doing there. Gnar, too tanky in his ultimate form. Yeah, I don't know why I thought action was going to happen in the top lane. It's Gnar Malphite. They're both huge tanks. Pretty impossible to kill. Looks like Sivir did indeed get back in time to go finish an item. Didn't buy the IE, but instead finished the Phantom Dancer, so that's interesting. I guess with the 5.1 patch differences, the Phantom Dancer is a somewhat better item over, you know, the old default static Shiv. Morgana Ogno gets a binding onto Fizz. He should be able to troll pull away here as soon as he's unbinded. There's a Xerath snipe. Can they get it with that and the Caitlyn ult? He should go down, will go down. Good binding there by Morgana actually leads to a kill, and Fizz needs to juke that binding. Like, he's got the troll pole. He just needed to use it to avoid the binding instead of to avoid nothing. He used it as his escape, but should have used it to binding instead. And actually that will enable UT Arlington to get in and secure UT Austin's blue buff as well. So turning a kill into an objective. Good foresight by them. They're actually getting a good push going on with this bottom lane. Caitlyn's been down there, shoved the wave, but the rest of the team rotates around. They'll pick that up. They'll trade the mid-tier one for it, but they're ahead. They actually want these one-for-one trades. They're going to actually continue this. What's next? We're going to see a little bit of a base race. Xerath and Morgana actually making a showing in the mid lane. Goodbye wave. That's Xerath for you. But Caitlyn, Pantheon, and Malphite still onto this bottom tier 2. They're going to pick that up for themselves as well. Gnar actually in the meantime picking up the top turret. So 2 tier 1s traded for bottom tier 1 and tier 2. Kind of an even trade. They still have a little bit of a push going here in the top lane, but there's a Xerath there. And yep, there goes the push. Isn't Xerath a fun champion? But yeah, that accelerates the pace of this game quite a bit. Quite a bit, I should say. Wow, that happened. Quite a bit. All of the turrets down except for a couple of tier 2s for each team. Or actually all 3 tier 2s for UT Arlington, I should say. Only 2 tier 2s for Austin left standing. But that leaves most of the map open for a lot of rotations and a lot of positioning plays. That's probably going to be the immediate future of this game now with all the turrets down. Both teams scrambling to get some farm onto whoever they can get it on, but we'll likely be seeing some pretty big team fights in the near future. Or maybe just some skirmishes over some vision control, who knows. Hopefully more action either way, because this game has been a little bit slow, aside from a few dragon fights. I want to see more action. I want to see some more bloodthirstiness. Of course, as I say that, nothing happening at all. Sivir clearing waves as Sivir is wont to do. Caitlyn walking back into the bottom lane. Big fun happening there. Fizz is also on his way to the bottom lane, so maybe he'll meet Caitlyn down there. I'm hoping that happens. Maybe Fizz will camp that lane bush and wait for her. So I don't know what else he is doing. There's the ping, yeah, actually onto exactly the bush I was talking about. So if he can get in there without being seen by that wave, looks like he did. Maybe we'll get a play on a Caitlyn, but as I'm focused on that, Jarvan eating a lot of stuns from Xerath and Pantheon in reverse order of what I said. Caitlyn going to leave the bottom lane. Fizz now left down there alone awkwardly. That means UT Arlington is going to have 5 people for a mid lane push here. Jarvan almost being forced to back. He's pretty low health. Pantheon actually ulting it back onto the back line as well, forcing a flash out of, I believe, Sivir there. Maybe it was Pantheon, I can't tell. But yeah, free turret for UT Arlington. Pantheon ultimate actually just zoning UT Austin away from the turret. It's actually a strategy I've seen work on them quite a few times now. Even if UT Arlington not looking for a fight, they'll just send the Pantheon in anyway, say, hey, go be a man, drop onto this area. Austin's going to back away from the area and we'll get this turret for free with this minion wave, and that's exactly what they did. UT Austin needed to realize there that if they do indeed just allow themselves to be zoned by the Pantheon ult, that they just kind of conceded. Interesting choice here. UT Austin actually not in position when this dragon is spawning. They're going to go take this blue buff instead, so not sure what's happening there. Are they looking for a top lane push maybe? Maybe grabbing some Baron vision? Pantheon meanwhile soloing the dragon, as he is perfectly capable of doing. Morgana going to join him over there, so yeah, free dragon for UT Arlington. After a very strange rotation by UT Austin, Fizz trying to do something here, but Jarvan caught out once again by a long-range stun. He should survive. Oh no, he doesn't! Snipe job by the Xerath Q there after the Caitlyn ultimate. Fizz trying to 1v2 against Morgana and Pantheon here, but there's Zanya. Now he's in a very bad spot. No Caitlyn trap there yet, but he should not get away. Yeah, there's his Xerath ultimate. Oh, actually, auto finishing him off. Meanwhile, Sivir dying to Malphite and Xerath. Gnar also being forced to run away. There's the rage bar filling up, but can't go back in with that little health. 3 kills picked up for UT Arlington and the dragon, and Austin picks up a blue buff. I think we know who won that trade. But yeah, that's going to be some pretty big items finished up for UT Arlington with all the gold they get from all of those. Malphite picking up an Abyssal Scepter, that's huge. Pantheon has finished off the Locket of the Iron Solari, also going towards a Brutalizer. On top of the Brutalizer, he already combined into his jungling item. There are the gold totals for y'all, not sure why we're looking at that. Another put onto Xerath, so that's more pressure that UT Arlington is putting onto the jungle of UT Austin. Jarvan at least going to go to pick up the red buff for himself, maybe give it to Sivir, but 1 out of 2 buffs is not both buffs, so that kind of sucks. Zanya's finished for Xerath, also has the Needless Large Ride, close to finishing a 3rd item with that thing as well. Fizz, meanwhile, only 2 items with the Zanya's and Witchbane. Still has the Flask, you know, that's good, right? Sivir has finally finished her Infinity Edge as Malzers is caught out again by Pantheon and Morgana. Probably just blindly walked into the area where Pantheon was camping earlier. Oh, there's the ultimate from Malphite actually onto Jarvan. They really want these kills picked up by Pantheon there, actually. There's some late teleporting from Gnar, but it's a 3v5 fight. Gnar is going to get completely dismantled here. Yeah, there's the shutdown onto Pantheon, so that's good at least. But unless Gnar has some really sweet juking skills, no he doesn't. Double kill for Xerath. There are 3 more kills picked up by Arlington. Only 1 kill for Austin. They're going to start sieging up this bottom inhibitor turret. Looks like they have the siege to do it as well. Malphite's somehow getting in there and tanking, probably with his Sunfire aggro, but yeah, that's an inhibitor turret, probably even the inhibitor for UT Arlington. That is bad news for... yeah, that's very bad news for UT Austin. Inhibitor down, and of course it's the inhibitor furthest from Baron as well. Great play there, actually. A flash from... interesting flash from Xerath? Okay. Not sure why he did that. I think he landed his Shocking Orb onto somebody, maybe, and thought he could finish up the kill. But whatever. They're ahead enough, that doesn't matter all that much. UT Austin starting to scramble a little bit, realizing the end of the game is coming if they don't do something drastic. Bottom inhibitor down, as I've said already for them, means that contesting any Baron that UT Arlington attempts to go for is going to be very tough. Sivir already on the task of trying to shove that bottom wave out, but it is a full-time job for somebody on the side of UT Austin, basically. Howja going to pick up his red buff, making Caitlyn even scarier and even harder to get to, as his scoreline attests. 4, 1, and 5, if I can read those pixelated numbers correctly. 3 items for himself as well. Everyone on UT Austin standing pretty still. Interesting. Okay, I thought it was a disconnection or something strange, but no, they were just standing perfectly still. And UT Arlington doing their thing, going into the Baron area, starting to pick up that vision. It's going to be not as much of a dance as we've previously seen around dragons and such. Gnar eating a Dark Binding, but he's pretty tanky, doesn't mind it too much. Has the Hex Drinker, Spectre's Cowl, and Merc Treads on him, so magic damage not the scariest thing for him. And oh wow, UT Arlington actually already on to the Baron here. Austin not even close to being in position to contest it. Fizz being in base. Sivir was going back out towards that bottom lane, so unless Jarvan can get the steal of his life here, that's gone. No, he won't. Picked up by Caitlyn, actually, of all people. Probably some good bursting there. Malphite going in by himself onto Gnar. There's the Dark Binding. Pantheon ulting in behind him as well. The rest of the team getting around them to the Baron pit. They pick up... ooh, don't quite pick up the kill onto Gnar. A great tornado for disengaged by Jenna there. Actually stopped Pantheon mid-leap. But Morgana is onto Sivir, forcing her flash away. Did use her ult, I think, at one point, but Sivir may have smoke shielded it or something, but that's another kill picked up, and more importantly, a Baron picked up by UT Arlington. They're going to kind of be indecisive between shoving that wave and buying. Okay, yeah, just shoving the wave, then buying, I guess. They're going to finish up even more items for themselves. Oh man. Malphite actually picking up probably the Iceborne Gauntlet with those items. Not quite enough gold to finish it yet, but has the components. Yeah, they're beginning to be extremely ahead. Xerath almost finished with his Rabadon's Death Cap. Pantheon, I should say, probably going towards Randuin's with that Warden's Mail. Caitlyn 3 items in Vamp Scepter. Even Morgana has the Frost Queen's Claim and the Zanya for herself. The Zanya being obviously the more important of those 2 items, but her utility with her ultimate is going to be quite crazy in the very near future. Yeah, I think the items just kind of tell the story here, honestly. Everyone across the board pretty much about one flat item down across their direct opponent, with pretty much the only exception being Jarvan, just with all of his kills and assists. A second dragon, I believe. Can't tell if it's 2 or 3. Another dragon, either way, picked up for Arlington. They're just going around the map, picking up all of the objectives for themselves. All of the jungle as well, because, you know, why not? No reason for them to not do so. They do have the Baron buff and the mini wave. Perfect timing is coming up just in time for them to get to that mid inhibitor. Sivir forced to deal with supers in the bottom lane there. Can't even get over here to contest that mid inhibitor turret. That's going to go down, almost certainly. Malphite doesn't even have to tank it up. Caitlyn, oh, there's the ultimate in action from Malphite and Pantheon. Disengage real quick from Jen and Monsoon, but Sivir goes down as well. There's Jarvan going down as well. They're onto the back line, and back line is dead. Everyone else from UT Austin just turning tail, giving up the inhibitor completely. That's probably game. 1 going to UT Arlington. 2 inhibitors down, 2 waves of super minions in onto the base. Nard doing his best to try to pick a kill. They actually do pick up a kill onto Pantheon there. Fizz trying to go in with his zonies, do a little bit of work, but not going to pick up any kills for himself. It's just him and Janna trying to defend. Gnar as well off to the side, but kind of low health to try to do anything. Fizz trying to go back in on to get the kill on a Malphite, but does not. Morgana securing that kill. That's a lot of Baron-empowered super minions onto the Nexus, and that should certainly be game. Gnar trying to come in. Yep, there's the Nexus explosion. GG, game 1 going to UT Arlington. Alright, so as y'all just saw, UT Arlington picking up that first game. UT Austin, I should